Hi. So, we got rubber on the pipe that we installed in one of the last videos. And trying to find ways to get it out. Now, I've tested a small spot right here. You can see it's extra shiny. I just use Flitz. We'll see if that just gets the rest of this, all this nastiness off. Now, it is going to take all that, you know, like brown golden color that is in the pipe out. But with some heat cycling, it should come back pretty easy. So let me go ahead and start doing it. So you don't need a lot. So you got a little thing in a microfiber. So just do a little, I don't know, between a dime and a quarter size dot there. And we'll just go ahead and put it on and just start going to town. What I'll do is kind of treat it the same way that like putting headers on is. So once you get the Flitz on there and get all the stuff out, we'll go ahead and wipe it down with like alcohol or something and make sure there's no fingerprints left on it and do it all over again. Let's check on handiwork so far. Oh god, hiccups. Alright, that's already a lot less than it was. There's this big splotch here that I still got to work on, so we'll just grab another side of the towel, put some Flitz, and get to it again. The same thing as before, between like a quarter and a dime, like a nickel, I guess. That makes sense. You try to go with the grain of the pipe. So a lot of stainless steel generally is across the pipe. Most of the time. Not always, though. I've seen some other videos where people are talking about, oh, get like a pre-1980 something penny because it has more copper content and you can just scratch on it and blah, 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 blah. Brother, I don't know where to get a freaking 1980 something penny. Like, you can't just walk into a bank and be like, hey, you guys got this specific penny? Like, I don't know. Not to talk shit, I'm not really, like, it was a very informative video, but I think this is more realistic for most people. And so far, it seems to be working for me, so let's see if we can make it work. Every now and then you're going to want to switch sides because this is how dirty the little spot gets. So, just swap to a new spot with the microfiber and get back to it. It's already, I mean, we're, what, five minutes into this, looks like, and it's already looking like that, so just a little bit of elbow grease. Should be fine. Kick my feet over here. Also, make sure that you don't let the Flitz dry onto the pipe. It's going to be a lot. It's pretty nasty to clean up once it's dried out. Honestly, it's already looking way better. Now, super shiny, so yeah, I'm going to need to really make sure it's clean. But it should, and I'll record after I heat cycle it a little bit, it should come back to just its normal gold color as well. We may get some super fine steel wool. That way, you know, we can just get these really tough spots, and then we'll use the flits and just really smooth everything out. We don't want to leave a bunch of scratches all over the pipes. We're going to see how far we can get with just doing the flits in a microfiber. If it's doing this well, I think it's just one of those patience things. Yeah, we're going to try some steel wool. What I might do is just put the flits onto the super fine steel wool. So I got some steel wool. It's fine grade, like it feels super soft. I don't know if they call it like finishing or... No, it's called fine. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing that we were just doing, but we're going to use steel wool just for those stubborn spots. So a little bit of flits. Boom. And let's test and see how it does. Make sure with steel wool, you're definitely going with the grain of the piping. And yeah, it's eating right through that caked on rubber.
Bam.
Yeah, that looks way better right there. Okay, let me get a different microfiber, one that's not covered in schmoo. So if you have like a very light amount, you could probably get away with just a microfiber. If you got, you know, a little bit more, like some stubborn pieces, you know, use the fine steel wool. Because we're pretty much almost done. Yeah, that's looking really good right now. We've got like 2 more small spots, and we'll be done. Just like that, your pipe, let me take you off the stand real quick. Just like that, your pipe is all clean and super polished. But in the scheme of things, it doesn't look bad. And then we're going to clean it off with some alcohol, heat cycle it, and it should come right on back to how it was prior to the rubber being on the pipe. So we'll fast forward while I do that, at least putting the alcohol on. So get a little bit of alcohol and just really make it clean. Plus, it doesn't hurt to just do it to the whole pipe anyway. Any road debris or grossness that was all over it, you know, get all that off. Some people use WD-40. I'm not doing that, but you definitely could. Obviously, let it evaporate a little bit before you make it super hot, because you don't want a little bit of blue flame, or at least not out of this end of the pipe. Wow, I just touched it. Good job, me. Boom. And I guess really, if you wanted to, you could use that same method. Just judging from the shine of it, you could just completely polish the pipe if you didn't like this look of it. You could do that just fine. Okay, so I'll do just a quick like idle heat cycle. I do it for like 30 minutes or so, and we'll see if it changes color a little bit. Okay, well, that was about, 5 minutes of just warming up, and it's already browning and starting to turn how it was before. So, you can barely tell that anything's even been done to it. And, as you heat cycle it some more, it should be less of a problem. So just give it a couple times of riding after you do that, and you should be back to normal without, any rubber. So